Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I am your host, DIEP. Cảm ơn quý vị đã tiếp tục theo dõi chương trình Kiến thức Y khoa, Gia đình và Xã hội với DIEP. Hôm nay Julie sẽ có thời gian nói thêm với chị Anh Đào, với Dr. MARIAM. Bữa nay chúng ta có rất nhiều câu hỏi nói chi tiết thêm về mental wellness với self-care. Phần cuối đây chúng tôi sẽ nói thêm về warm line. Chừng nào quý vị có thời gian, có cái khó khăn mà mình nên gọi cái warm line. Dr. MARIAM, can you give us the phone number on how families can reach you on the warm line? And you also, if you can tell in Vietnamese, chị Anh Đào.
Sure. The best way to call and the text the warm line is our local number, which is 714-991-6412, and I believe that the 800 number is also listed with on the screen. Yes.
Yes. Chị Anh Đào.
Vậy thì xin chia sẻ lại tất cả quý vị đang hiện diện trước màn ảnh nhé. Quý vị warm line rất tốt, tại vì nơi đây chúng ta có thể chia sẻ mà không gặp mặt nhau. Chúng ta thoải mái tâm sự, nói chuyện bất cứ là vấn đề gì. Những người ở nursing home nè, những người bệnh tự kỷ nè, những người thật sự tâm thần nè, và ngay cả những gia đình muốn tìm hỏi hay những thông tin bất cứ vấn đề gì, warm line chúng tôi cũng giúp quý vị cả. Từ khi làm được warm line thì nói thiệt, tôi biết rất nhiều và cũng nghe rất nhiều tâm sự của những người bệnh. Vậy thì đây là một cái số phone quý vị gọi vào nhé. 714-991-6412, 714-991-6412. Quý vị bấm số 4, bấm số 9 và để lại tên kiếm người Việt Nam thì bảo đảm số phone nó tới người Việt Nam. Không có tôi thì cũng có người Việt Nam khác. Thì xin tất cả quý vị, các bác ở xa cũng như ở gần, chúng ta buồn, con cháu đi làm hết thì ở nhà gọi cho warm line thì sẵn sàng tiếp chuyện các bác, và gọi nhé 714-991-6412 nhé.
Cảm ơn chị Anh Đào. You know, Dr. MARIAM, Anh Đào was really inviting the community to contact her and contact the warm line. But when someone calls the warm line, what should they expect?
So just I want to really make a distinguish. So we are a warm line. Warm line, you know, most people when you say warm line, they don't even understand what that is. So you've heard of hotline, right?
Yes.
So we're one level below the hotline. So the crisis line is usually the crisis line, that's the hotline. And then one level below that is a warm line.
Okay.
When people call the warm line, because we're not a crisis line, we get very busy. So the lines, when you come in, sometimes you can call in and you can get somebody through immediately. Sometimes you get the voicemail. But rest assured that even if you get the voicemail, you will get a call back. Okay. Luann's on Luann and every single mentor, they're super on top of the voicemails. We usually return voicemail within 4 hours, if not shorter than that. For example, if you compare it to the state warm line, they take a little bit longer. They take about 3 days to get back to you because remember, traditionally we're not crisis lines.
Yes.
So but with the OC warm line, we're really good. We return calls as soon as we can. And then when you call the warm line, just expect another person on the other side who is just meeting you where you are. So basically, we don't, you can have a conversation about anything you want if you're wanting resources. I'll give you an example. There are people, during COVID, it's intense. And so people get afraid of testing. People are afraid of, did I catch COVID? I'm afraid to go testing, questions like that, or they have lost their job or whatever it may be. The subject is a non-issue. Whatever you want to talk about, we can meet you there. And then we also provide resources. An average conversation at the warm line lasts about 15 minutes. Traditionally, we have about 56% of our callers are new and the rest is established callers. We have had the same callers call us for the past 10 years. Wow. So you can imagine what kind of relationship we built with callers. We've had letters from individuals like on their deathbed that, like it's called in-home hospice. When people are in in-home hospice, you know, this one lady, we had her, and when she passed away, her husband sent us the letter, how we helped her. So at night, when there was nobody there for her, her husband had to go to work, she would call the warm line, and she would sing to the warm line mentors, and we would listen. She would talk about her pets. She would just have conversations because she was lonely, and that conversation helped her out so much that she had left us a letter. So you can just imagine what kind of bond we build with individuals. So on the other side, the warm line mentors are peers. That means that peers are individuals with lived experience. It means that they had their dark night of the soul. They had a very difficult time in their lives, and then they are in their own recovery, and now they're back in the community giving back. And that's what our majority of the warm line mentors, they're so amazing. And because they have lived that, you know, when somebody asks me, and when I get on the phones, you know, and somebody asks me about depression, I can relate. If somebody talks about suicide, we can relate. We've been there. Right? So it's a hold, and on the phone, you know, I'm not a clinician. I just become a peer, just like all of us. We're just having a conversation. We're trying to hold the space for that person so that they can come to the answers, and so that they don't feel scared, you know, they don't feel lonely. Well, that's what we're for.
Thank you, Dr. MARIAM, for being so thorough in the explanation of what the warm line includes. And you definitely, we hope to share on the screen today the signs and symptoms of what this looks like when you need mental wellness. Yes. I know I also want to ask you, how do you fund the warm line? Is there any kind of grants that are available? How does that, how do you sustain that program?
Yes, yeah. Warm lines, so we're very lucky. We've been working with Orange County Behavior Health. They really believe in this program. So they are our funders. They've been funding this program for the past 10 years. And wow. During COVID, our fiscal year in July 1st, we went 24 hours. So we have amazing support from the healthcare agency for this program. Powers to be, they understand what an impact it makes in the community. And so we're just lucky. And some of the communities that are not having a warm lines, we see the impact because often we get some of the calls from the places that don't have the warm lines. And most of the calls that we get are referrals from the suicide hotline. Okay. So the suicide hotline usually gets about, say 100,000 calls a year. 2 to 3% are rescues. The rest of them, they're conversations. They need to have conversations, like warm line conversations. So what the suicide hotline does, they actually assess, if they deem them not suicidal, yet they need further conversation, they usually send them over to us.
Okay, thank you.
So we get the referrals from there. We get it. The healthcare agency does an amazing job with outreach. NAMI Orange County does its own outreach. So we try to get as much outreach as we can. We try to get everybody to know about us because we're here. We are a free service here to help.
Okay. I know as we close in the program today, I wanted to give anh Đào or Luan an opportunity to address the Vietnamese community. Chị Anh Đào có lời nhắn cho cộng đồng Việt Nam mình không?
Chắc chắn là có, là bởi vì chúng ta, những người Việt Nam ở đây, nhất là cộng đồng Việt Nam của mình, thì cái vấn đề sức khỏe tâm thần hình như là chúng ta đều tránh né. Thì anh Đào xin kêu gọi tất cả cha mẹ, những người thân có người bệnh tâm thần thì đến với anh Đào, đến với hội, hoặc là gọi anh Đào ở Warm Life, tại vì anh Đào bảo đảm sẽ trả lời quý vị. Và cũng phải khoe với quý vị là anh Đào quen từ Warm Life mà quen Julie Diệp, một sự tình cờ. Vì chúng tôi quen nhau và cũng connection từ những người có những hoàn cảnh đau khổ thì chúng tôi tới. Thì quý vị cứ gọi cho anh Đào nhé, 7149916412, 7149916412, bấm số 4, bấm số 9, kiếm người Việt Nam. Không cần nói tên cũng được, Việt Nam cũng có vài người ở đó chẳng hạn, thì có thể giúp quý vị được. Và nếu quý vị cần register cho cái lớp học của Việt Nam chúng ta vào thứ Bảy này Zoom, thì gọi cho anh Đào cũng được. Cũng số này anh Đào sẽ cho quý vị cái Zoom để vào trong cái Zoom của chúng ta và chúng ta học hỏi.
Thank you so much for both joining the show. Julie, cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV đã theo dõi chương trình kiến thức y khoa gia đình và xã hội. Hôm nay chúng tôi có thời gian nói chuyện về mental health, mental wellness với self care. Hy vọng gặp lại quý vị tuần sau.
Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.